the 195, and then the SGX 195. And each one of those families are all mission configurable. Baffle by baffle, you have
Tone technology too.
Yeah, you can. Yes, tone technology. You can choose the length based off of the host weapon, based off of the caliber, whatever it is that you're doing. So,
dang, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so for your entire lineup to be like that's neat.
Yeah,
mission configurable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the CF Podcast. I am Clint. We've got two very special guests with us today. We've got Rich Wilkins. Say hello.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Dude, of course. And Ron Martinez.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, all right. So let's go ahead and let's just do some introductions, but let's first talk about where we first met. And that was at a SHOT Show earlier this year,
That's right.
And so I think Hollow Sun invited us out to like a like some sort of night vision shoot because they were showing off their new thermal and night vision optics, which are super cool, by the way. And while we're there, I think, Ron, you're just like, hold this. And you handed me like that 22 suppressor.
9mm.
It was the 9mm. It was the 9mm. Okay. I knew it was the suppressor that was really freaking cool. All right. And then you're like, okay, now you got to go shoot it. And you had all these different guns lined up and everything. And we shot it. And then Rich, you guys just started talking. I was like, dude, these guys are fun. Right. And so we just hit it off that night. And then we've just run into each other ever since then. And then it's like, okay, cool. We need to do something. Right. And so, so as of right now, Ron, you own JK Armament.
I'm president and partnering with JK Armament.
Okay. All right. And Rich?
And I am at I wanted to be the vice chancellor of marketing, but they were like, no, you're going to be the director of marketing. I was like, okay.
I mean, vice chancellor sounds kind of cool.
That's what I said.
You know, I mean, that's pretty neat. So, okay. So JK Armament, give us a little bit of history there, a little bit of background. JK, is it, I mean, what's...
Well, I was a former CEO and owner of Gemtech Suppressors.
Yes.
I'm the dumb idiot who sold the Smith & Wesson. Another story, not today. And Jake Kunsky, it was my director of R&D at Gemtech.
Cool. Yeah.
He reached out to me. I had a 5-year non-compete, so I was retired. I raced Porsches and did my Krav Maga.
Oh, all right. We're gonna
have fun.
We're gonna have some good conversations about Porsche too.
Yes, so I love that. And then Jake approached me because he was going to go on another tour. He's a Special Forces Group head armorer, and said, "Hey, Ron, would you be interested to be involved, partner, help grow, etc.? JK Armament. I'm looking at doing a suppressor company." I said, yes.
Okay. I might know something
I
about that.
am bored. Because
Yeah.
Gemtech was in 25 countries worldwide.
Yeah.
So we were quite large, and we always had innovation since 1976. So I said, okay. So I did some research on companies. I went around and said, okay, I want to make sure this is the right fit. And if we do come out with suppressors, to make a hit. And so I did my research. I trust Jake. And I said, you know what? My non-compete's over here pretty soon, toward the end of 2022. And so basically, really, October 1st is when we launched officially JK Armament suppressors.
So just recently, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
5 months, 5.5 months. Yeah.
Right. And so JK Armament. So like I said, the first time I shot one of your suppressors was out at SHOT, and I was like, dude, this thing is lightweight. It's cool. It's got great texture to it and everything. I'm like, this thing is pretty neat, and it looks good, right? I mean, you know, we all know that looks are like 99% of the battle. So, but anyway, so that was a lot of freaking fun, man. So what does JK stand for?
Jake Kunsky. So his name, the founder.
Okay, duh.
So Jake, he's the namesake. So he's the founder of JK.
Gotcha. So what sets your suppressors or JK Armament suppressors apart? You know, what makes those so special?
Well, a couple things. One, it's the technology. So basically, nothing against Gemtech. That was my company.
Yeah.
Okay. It's innovation since 1976. However, Jake is brilliant. We designed some incredible products at Gemtech with Jake. We did a lot of things with SEAL teams, Special Forces worldwide, and Jake came up with an idea of having two things. One, tone technology, meaning that if you take a guitar, you have a high string and a low string.
Yeah.
Okay. They both meter the same sound-wise. However, they sound completely different. We go for the bass tone on that.
Yeah.
So on the JK Armament, the tone technology is the bass tone. And we have what we call a tone tuner that you can move around the suppressor to meet where you want for ear. It depends on what you're shooting. 16-inch, 14-inch, 10-inch, 20-inch, whatever you're shooting, it can become compatible to what you're shooting. Now, the second thing with JK is mission configurable, not modular.
Okay.
Mission configurable. That's a military term, so that on the 155 cans, we can go down 1 inch at a time, or with the 105, it's a half an inch. So it depends on your mission. I want a lightweight product to go hunting. You probably want a smaller configuration, maybe a little louder,
Yeah.
but it meets your mission. Same thing with the 105, the CCX 9mm. It's a concealed carry product. I want the shortest version possible, and I'm going to go with one baffle.
Yeah. Easy enough.
So those two things, and then our warranty.
yeah.
Unlimited, unconditional lifetime warranty. So if you have a problem with the product, we replace it, no questions asked.
Wow.
And you can clean the products too.
Yeah, which is nice.
Which
Well,
is
and
fine. You have to clean
Vortex kind of wrote the model on that, right?
Yeah.
So that value model,
Dude, yeah,
you know.
their VIP warranty. I've used it once, right? I had an optic just die on me. Well, it didn't die. It was actually the buttons on it, the controls actually just stopped working, and I tried to replace the battery and all that type of stuff, and I got nothing. Right, the controls, there was just something that went wrong there. Within 2 weeks after submitting my warranty claim, I had a brand new optic. I was like,
Yep.
wow, okay,
Like
cool.
my Maui Jim sunglasses.
Another good illustration as far as the tone technology is concerned, the way, like, Phil Dater actually is the one who
Dr.
Dr. Phil Dater,
Dater.
excuse me,
Thank
MD, who is the godfather
Yeah.
of suppression.
Modern day suppression.
Yeah, started developing it in 1976. He said, it's like taking a melon and dropping it into a mound of dirt.
Yeah.
That deep thud that comes out of that,
Right.
that sound, that's what we're after with that deep tone. So you'll get that with the SBRX or our rifle caliber system.
Right.
It's that deep thud that everyone loves to hear when they're shooting suppressed.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you're absolutely right, man. There's something about like a 300 blackout that's got that perfect tone to it. There's that dum dum dum. Yeah. That's music's my ears.
I love it.
Oh, I do too. And just to let you know, too, my first pistol silencer I ever bought was a Gemtech. And
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, it was, and I still have it. I still have it today. I run it on my FNX 45. I run it on my CZ Scorpion. I run it on my AP5. I run it on every pistol that I have because that's my only pistol caliber silencer that I have, and I love. I got the two different boosters, for half 28 and then 45, and then on top of that, one thing that I really thought was so unique about the design behind that silencer was that monocore design. And I remember taking the sleeve off and then throwing it on my can. I was like, "Look at this break." And I was like, "Look at this thing," right? And throwing that on my FNX, looking like an idiot. But it was just, it's so cool. So I don't remember anything else being like that out on the market. And for those of you that are watching that probably don't know what I'm talking about, we maybe can throw up like a picture or something like that of my can. And dude, and I have beaten the shit out of it. I have abused it, and it still just runs. And so it's baffleless, right? And it's just this. So this is again this monocore design. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Again, Gemtech, innovation since 1976, and constantly challenging the team to come up with new and unique products.
Right.
And so we came with the monocore technology so that you can clean it.
Yeah, and it makes it so easy because
Comes right out.
Yeah, you just unscrew the sleeve,
Yep.
and then sleeve comes out, and that's that.
Well, JK did the next level.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the same team,
Yeah,
but the next level.
And across the entire family
Correct.
of suppressors.
that's
Exactly
cool.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we came out with the Aurora Gemtech in 1994 for the U.S. Air Force. I think was the year, and it was a small little can for handguns, pistols, for U.S. Air Force. So if somebody ejects, they can shoot 40 rounds and not be found.
Oh wow.
So I brought that out to the public in 2017, and it went gangbusters. But it was wipes. At the same time, we were working with a lot of different areas, FBI, HRTs, the Special Forces, etc. And Jake and the team, Dr. Phil Dater, were developing what we called the MK 3.9.
Yeah.
Which was a small suppressor for the handguns. And of course, Smith & Wesson purchased my company.
Yeah.
And they never came out. But here comes JK.
All right.
Now you have a 1.2 ounce. The short version's what? It's the size of a key fob.
Yeah, it's 1.2 ounces. Like it's literally like a tube of chapstick.
It
Yeah,
blows my
that's-
mind. Because when you put that in my hand, and I was like, "The hell is this?" I thought it was like a pill container.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, "No, that's a silencer." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, dude. So again,
It's just the next level
Yeah.
technology. You saw that with Gemtech with that. Now the JK team.
Yeah.
Here we are, JK Armament. New technology. Nobody has the mission configurable, the tone technology, the weight. It's not just the sound. It's the length, the weight, the dust, and the flash.
Right.
You combine them, now you have your suppressor and do your weighted system.
Right, because now your silencers too, you've got kind of like an integrated like flash hider, right? Yeah, and so I mean, you take that in consideration because that's one thing that a lot of people will see too, like especially on that first round. You get that first round pop, you get that flash initially, you know, and so if you can dial that back, then that signature that's being reduced. Again, that's why I prefer the term suppressor, even though I know they're technically, thank you Maxim, called silencers. I get it, all right. In the comment section, they're silencers. I get it, but at the same time, with the technology advances and everything like that, they kind of evolved from being a silencer to, hey, it's not so much silencing the firearm. That's almost impossible. It's actually sound suppression, and one of the biggest things, signature suppression overall for the flash, right? And because that's the other thing, especially, I don't know how many people have seen flash signature, especially under thermal and night vision. It's kind of like, oh, he's right there. Shoot in that direction. Just lay down the fire over there, right? So being able to go ahead and just mitigate that identifying factor is a good thing to do.
Yes, it is.
That conversation needs to be had a lot more in our industry because it gets exhausting how many people chase decibels. Like, listen, the sound is important. Right. We get it. Calm down about the, what is it reading on the decibels? And honestly, like when you're testing, you've got at the muzzle, you've got at the ear. There's different angles and where you're testing what the decibels are doing. Yeah. But these other aspects of suppression, and they need to be talked about. And I think that's actually happening. We're seeing that happen in the industry. The conversations being had about the weight and these other things that you listed.
The length,
the
dust. Flash, the dust. But also just on the sound, people need to remember, what's the decibel reading? I said, well, what do you want it to be? Everybody looks like, what are you talking about?
What are you doing? Yeah.
The gun, the ammo, the barrel, the weather. We can test one thing one day, it's another thing another day. I said, look, it's sound safe. Everybody hears differently. Oh, I shouldn't say this. Okay. My wife hears
I've heard this one.
Sound at night. There's a buzz. There's a buzz. I'm like, buzz where? Oh, the air conditioning units. Well, I have a barely sizable house, and I have 2 massive units. I'm like, I don't hear anything. Yeah. So I went on and spent $35,000, redid the entire system with lowest dB.
Oh, yeah.
Furnaces, air conditioning systems in the market.
Happy wife, happy life right there, man.
Nope. She heard a sound. And I said, seriously, 35 to 40 grand. Yeah. And finally the guy got mad. It was, I forget, Bryant or whatever. He goes, ma'am, it's mechanical. You're going to hear noise. But but again, go back to the guns and the suppressors. Everybody hears differently, different tones. So when we do what we call the drag race, I'm not sure if I bring that up, we're going to go over the measurements at the same time, same gun, same length, same ammo, right there, and we go for the shooter's ear. Yeah. To me, the shooter's ear is the most important.
That is what,
And so that's what we're doing. And
from the decibel side of things.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, there's a lot of guys that are like, well, what about at the muzzle? And it's like, why do you care?
Are you going to stand in front of it?
Yeah. Well, Ryan might be when he's getting those cool shots, He might be like, hey, you know what? At the muzzle is kind of important for me, At Ryan's ear, it's that shooter's ear, and then there's Ryan's ear. But no. So have you guys heard of Pew Science, by the way? Jay from Pew Science over there? Because I'll say, if you want to talk about somebody who gets down into the nitty gritty technicals type of stuff, working with him, I think would always be like a kind of a cool thing. But anyway, shout out to him because he's just just a super nice guy. Also met him at SHOT this past year also. But anyway, so again, all of the technology again and everything too that you guys are involving in your silencers, which by the way, if you guys haven't seen our NRA annual meet coverage, we do meet these guys out on the show floor. We talk about those silencers, and you get to actually physically see them and see them on some pretty sweet guns, if I may add. And so, definitely check out our coverage there. Again, JK Armament, when just type in Classic Firearms, JK Armament, I'm sure it'll come up. But anyway, so continuing on, the silencers are practical. They're doing exactly what you need them to do, and on top of that, they're lightweight. They're good. Right. Since SHOT Show, I was looking you guys up to and everything. I'm like, dude, this shit's badass. All right. So we got to find them at NRA and have a good time. And
they look good.
Yeah, they do look good. They look really good.
Little teaser. Hollywood's starting to take note.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we got some special things in the works.
And we got some good shows coming up. This
is true.
CBS, one of the top shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just
pay
SEAL
attention,
team.
guys.
SEAL team.
Yeah.
What will they be carrying?
There you go.
If we need a bunch. If we need to bleep that or anything,
we won't. You can throw it in there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We have a lot of good things coming out.
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy for you guys. That's great, man. Like I said, I mean, hell, my first pistol silencer was a Gym Tech. I'm glad to see you're back in the industry doing cool stuff.
And Dr. Dater's back too.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. We've got actually, I'm in post right now.
Yeah.
A really cool interview with him.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's about an hour long. It'll be worth the watch, especially for the gun guys out there that love to get nerdy.
Oh, yeah.
So, Phil, it was quite the honor.
Yeah, Dr. Dater's awesome.
Yeah, Dr. Dater. Yeah.
That's awesome, Dan. So, be looking out for that because I know there's a lot of us out there that get into the technical nerdy shit, and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun getting into it. But at the end of the day, hey, I need something that's going to work, right? I need something that's going to work, that's going to be able to hide that signature, suppress everything I want it to suppress, and also make sure my gun's shooting reliably as well, So, yeah, all of that coming into play. So before JK Armament, before Gym Tech, Ron, what were you doing? Because you were talking about racing Porsches, and me for, I don't think, because I don't really talk about this all that much, but I raced Porsches too for a little bit. Yeah, they're super fun. I mean, when I say I raced Porsches, it wasn't as cool as like what people might be thinking. It wasn't like I was up at Watkins Glen or going to Nuremberg or anything like that. No, I was doing a little autocross.
I hate autocross. I'm sorry.
No,
there were old people out there yelling.
You hit that cone.
I'm sorry for the old people. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Keep that bitch in first gear and just have fun. There's no reason to change the gear at all in that stuff. But anyway, no. So I mean, I had a 79 911 SC Targa. And
beautiful car,
dude. I had the whale tail on it, front spoiler. Dude, I loved that car, and I actually did race it a little bit. Some of it not so legal, but at the same time, every now and then I'd see like a group get together, and there was like a Porsche club that went out there to do some autocross at like a German restaurant that had a big parking lot, and we ate and drank afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like a good time, So. You were racing some Porsches and stuff like that? Yeah, dude. So, like, I mean...
not like that.
Yeah.
I actually did the autocross years ago, and I got kicked off the course because I kept going through I was going too fast. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Going too fast?
I was taking the cones out. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I was a 911 Turbo S, and I'm like, no. So then, I do the... at the Miller... In Utah, they have a Miller Speedway. You can get to about... Well, I try to get to about 180, 150 to 180 on the straightaway.
That's
but
fast.
You got to hit the brakes. It's about I think the course is a 6-mile course. I think 2 sections. It's fun.
He treats a rental the same way, just so you know.
Avis, you didn't hear that. I have fun, but they don't drive because I took that van and got it on 2 wheels. I'm like,
Good
oh boy.
Lord.
But it's fun, and I did. And I did my rate. I also got all the things, and I went down to Porsche centers in LA, did all that stuff years ago.
Yeah.
But I was bored. I was retired, when I sold Gem Tech, and I was like, okay, I got to do something.
Right.
So I did the Porsches and I did the Krav Maga. But on the Porsches, I did think for PragerU, they interviewed me about a year ago. So you can put PragerU Ron Martinez, and you'll kind of find the history of my family. My dad's family taken 6 years to come over legally from Mexico, et cetera. And then in that interview, it's like 10 minutes. It talks about how I got into Porsches.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's pretty cool.
It's a tearjerker. I'm just going to warn everyone.
You did see it, so I won't bring it up. Yeah, I'm not going to bring it up. But
all right.
But it's really good. But I enjoy it. The great products, great cars. I love the handling. You had a great car, and of course I have an '89 turbo. So I don't race that.
Yeah, I had an '89 Targa also, and an '89 944 S2. And
but they're great cars.
They're so much fun. That 944 was a lot of fun too. Most affordable one. Yeah.
Mine just turned over 14,000 miles, so it's a black on black. All my cars are black on black.
Oh, nice.
So
mine are all red, except for my 79 was silver. But yeah,
red.
Yeah, I like the red with the black, man.
That's good.
Yeah, I like the red.
Most women have the red with the white, but red and black is good.
No. Red and black is me. I love the red with the black interior. That was that. Now I also had a 90 Corvette ZR1.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Now that car I did love, but that was also red with red interior.
Well, that was the last year with the lights down, right? Or was it 91? Or 90, maybe it's 92, maybe 94. But one of the very few last years of the Corvette with the lights that were down. Not too many Porsche people who are ever watching this have Corvettes. That's a big problem.
Yeah, well, see, that's just it. I wanted, the best that America had to offer and Germany,
There you go. But racing is fun. I enjoyed. I also do a thing called the Tour de Force.
Yeah.
That's in Sun Valley. It's about 40 of us drivers, and we raise almost $1 million for the Hunger Coalition.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's an all-out Bugattis, Paganis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches, and it's a race, and we try to get the fastest speeds possible. Unfortunately, mine only goes to 205.
Unfortunately.
And no, I'm serious. And I'm going to do. So I already found the new engine for the turbos. I'm coming in from Germany.
Oh man.
So I want to hit 230, but cars go between 200 and 230 miles an hour.
God dang.
All for the name of charity.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's an invite only. It's a lot of fun, but it's called the Tour de Force in Sun Valley, Idaho.
Dude,
it's fun.
That is really cool, man. And what you were talking about before, the C4 Corvette was the last generation with the flip-up headlights. So then the C5 came about. Is that right? No, the C5 still had flip-ups. The C6.
I think the last year was 94, 92. I can't remember. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think the C5 still actually had flip-ups. Dude, I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyway, that's not what the podcast is about.
But I will tell you, the Porsche 911 Turbo is known as the Widowmaker.
Dude.
All of a sudden, it'll kick in, the turbo kick in, you're gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, that, and then on top of that, a lot of people don't realize, too, that car being rear engine, if you take a turn too much, that rear engine, the rear end wants to come and say hello.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're facing the wrong direction. So you gotta worry about that. So, Rich, tell us about you a little bit, man.
Oh man,
dude, yeah, what got you?
The boring guy in this group.
Oh, whatever, dude. From the pictures you were showing me last night, you did some bodybuilding. You were doing all sorts of cool stuff, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with my love just to keep it relevant, right?
Yeah.
Because I did do a lot of bodybuilding. I'll start with my love for suppressors. Actually, started with Gemtech.
Oh yeah. Well, how about that?
And it will come full circle. My first time shooting suppress was on my favorite host, the MP5K.
Yes.
The 9mm Gemtech can.
Yep.
Full auto, too. So it was like 2-in-1 for me. It was my first time shooting full auto and suppressed. And after that happened, I was spoiled. I was fixated.
Yeah.
And then I was actually living in Idaho at the time. And that's where the Gemtech headquarters was. So I had to find my way over there. And I was the fanboy. I was young, no tattoos, could barely grow a beard. and I would nerd out, Dr. Phil Dater. MD, and Ron and the company itself. It was during the glory days, right? And so, fast forward, 8 years, 5 or 6 years actually. Ron called me up. I was the creative marketing director at Silencer Co. in June of last year.
Oh, nice.
And he said,
considering the company.
What's that?
Considering getting baking in the industry.
Yes.
Because my non-compete in end in September.
No, it was Jake actually. It was Jake that called me, and he said, "Hey, we're going to be bringing the band back together."
Oh, that's cool.
And that's where the conversation started. The seed was planted.
Yes.
Right. So, back and forth happened, months and months happened, and then all of a sudden I came on, and the rest is history. Right. We're going full throttle.
That's for sure.
We're in 6th gear right now. I call Ron, especially on these shows, I call him full auto Ron.
Yeah.
Because he's just nonstop.
Just full send, right?
The energy levels, it's awesome.
I was retired for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Yeah. But what brought me out to Utah, I was actually Dead Air. I was the digital marketing director there for 2 years.
Man, you're just all about suppressors. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah.
I love to suppress. So, yeah.
And he gave us that Silencer Co. Then we got him here at JK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were glad to have him. And we have a great team, a very experienced team, very good team.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, before I got into guns, I was a senior executive in the banking industry.
That's right. Yeah.
So I ran Central United States.
Yeah.
For Bank of America. So I ran from Chicago down to Houston.
Yeah.
So ran 9 states. So I'm glad to be in the industry, gun industry. And that's why I got into it, the people. The people.
Yeah.
I love the people. And their value sets, personalities, we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and that is really neat too. And I really actually like the idea of getting the band back together too, because again, I am a fan of Gemtech, right?
Yeah.
And so that learning that JK Armament, has those roots is really cool. So I'm going to ask I think a question I already know the answer to, but we can elaborate a little bit. Do you think suppressors should be on the NFA?
No. Huh? It's advanced hearing protection, guys. Come on. I mean, if it's legal in the UK,
yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's rough.
You know, that says something. You know, and it's obviously once a right's taken away, it's really hard to get back, right? And so,
bingo.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, that's the big part. And I mean, if we do get our rights back, what does that mean financially for these 3-letter agencies?
Yeah,
you know, so.
Yep. So the National Firearms Act, for those of you that don't know, then again, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably do. But if you don't, that is the National Firearms Act of 1934 that pretty much said, hey, if you got a short-barreled rifle, anything under 16 inches, a shotgun, anything under 18 inches, or a silencer, you have to register that with the United States government, with the ATF, pay a $200 tax, and then you are maybe approved and allowed to exercise your Second Amendment right. So the way I look at it is the way I think most people really do look at it. And that's that silencers aren't these things that assassins use that make the guns absolutely silent, that John Wick uses and Common uses, you know, to shoot at each other in the middle of a mall that nobody notices. They are actually a gentleman's product, right? Because the way I look at it is if I go to an indoor range, and I've got a guy using a 7.5-inch AR 5.56, and he's just with the muzzle brake, and he is just breaking glass. What I mean by that is there's probably a glass viewing window, and you can see the stuff start to warp and everything else, you know, because this thunderous percussion coming from this brake.
Savage.
Yes, it is nuts.
It's uncivilized. I go back to the old Star Wars.
Yeah,
the lightsabers, they civilized weapon. I have a bunch of replicas I collect.
Oh yeah. All right.
Back when it was normal, now it's too woke. Now it's woke. It's ridiculous. I won't support it anymore. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody running a 100-meter dash in 8 seconds. It's like, no, she could not run a 100-meter dash. Long story. Anyway,
I get where you're going.
A civilized weapon.
Yeah.
The lightsaber. And I cannot, now I've been shooting unsuppressed for years. There's no way, suppressed, excuse me. There's no way I could go unsuppressed. It is so uncivilized.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You got to shoot with suppressors.
Yeah. I mean, really. And so, the way I look at it, it's a gentleman's product. And on top of that, it's a safety device at the end of the day.
Oh, hearing.
Yeah, for your hearing or anything else. And so it's like, cool. So attaching a silencer to the end of your gun doesn't make it completely silent, right? So let's talk a little bit about that too, because there are some things that get close. Like if you've got yourself a 300 blackout bolt action,
now we're talking.
And you run some subsonic to that, you literally hear maybe the hammer drop. Yep. And then the gun's gone. Like I've literally shot pellet guns and BB guns louder. Airsoft guns, that battery running is louder, you know, and it is cool, man. So with that being said, favorite guns to suppress.
Oh gosh. He did it.
Oh, I'm going there, man. So obviously 300 blackout, right? That round.
I love the 300 blackout. I have an 8.5-inch 300 blackout.
Yeah.
That is my gun. Yeah. Period.
MP5K.
I have that too. But
he's like,
MP5K is awesome.
That's it.
But that 300 blackout will stop.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah. A guy your size.
Yeah. Oh, it would take a few rounds, I'm telling you right now.
What are you, 6'5", 275?
That's close.
Yeah, he's big.
God dang.
Wreck-It Ralph. No.
Yeah. Damn, boy.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I was calling my other guys the Wookiee and Thanos. He's like, come on, Ron, you got to get in the Skull Crusher. I got to figure another name.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. Come on, get out of here. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
I'm a Doomslayer.
No, we were in the elevator and the power went out. He's like, no! He's jumping up and down. I'm like, dude, it's like Donkey Kong. So, sorry.
That did happen. Yeah,
it did happen.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I don't do well in small enclosed spaces.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah. So obviously 300 blackout is that preferred. I mean, that's what it was made for, you know. Yeah. And so 9mm we all love, dude. I mean, you can even throw some 9mm subs out there also that run really, really well. The MP5 suppressed, dude. That roller delayed action with that silencer, man. It just
classic.
Is so cool, man, and it just runs so freaking well. And so your 8.5-inch 300 blackout. What kind of gun's it on? Or what kind of gun is it? You know?
You would ask that.
Yeah, of course.
It's a Maxim defense.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it a Maxim defense? Yeah. You know who designed that gun? Jay Kunsky.
The PDX.
the PDX.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the PDX, MDX, it's the whole. And the PDX is 5.5. No, you have not heard that.
Look up the patents on there.
Look at the patents.
Yeah.
Jake Kunsky. So when Gemtech was destroyed, okay, I'm going to tell you, it would happen. It's really sad. I'm very angry about that. But Jake went on to Maxim, and I had, at that point, without fully understanding my non-compete, I thought, maybe I'll buy Maxim. Maybe I'll be involved. And so I looked at a bunch of companies. I said, Maxim. So Jake and several other Gemtech guys went to Maxim Defense. And Jake designed the PDX.
Really?
Jake Kunsky did.
Yeah.
Yes. So he gets mad. That's my favorite gun. I'm like, oh, you designed it. I have the MDX, but I have the 8.5 inch.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful. I love it. I think it looks good. It sounds good. It runs good.
Oh,
I love that gun.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake, if you're listening.
Yeah.
You did design it, so don't get mad at me. You did design it.
Right. So it still has his heart and soul in it.
Yes, it does.
Dude, and they are awesome little guns. They really are. And I think Maxim's a cool company too. And they teamed up with a buddy of ours also, Chris Tonto Peranto.
Chris. I know Chris.
Yeah, Chris. We took a class from him out at Fort Scott Munitions. It was him and another instructor by the name of Michael Billings. They did a phenomenal job. We had a lot of fun out there. They brought out so many people, and I think they called it their Copper Ticket event. And man, that was so freaking cool. And of course, we're running pretty close quarters. We were running, I think the furthest distance we shot out to about 100 yards, and man, we were running and sprinting, and I loved it, right? That's the type of stuff I live for. But Tonto's cool, man, and they had this tumble upon impact technology.
Yeah, Fort Scott does a great job.
Yes.
I run a lot of their 6.5. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so, they make some great stuff over there, so Ryan and the guys are awesome. And but anyway, so I mean, honestly, that's a great choice, and we got a couple of our favorites too. I've got a little 300 Blackout by Arrow that I built up, that's just fun, just an upper that I'll throw on like my Mark 18 lower, so it got a nice little shorty, you know what I mean, and that's always a lot of fun. But of course, SIG makes a great option too if you're looking to get into the piston game and stuff like that. But I got to tell you, full auto 9mm
MP5K is fun.
That is.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes,
that is.
I agree.
When I have to go to Oregon, that's what I put in my backpack.
It's easy. It's a softball throw.
It is true. That's what I put in my backpack. My MP5K.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you want to start your addiction, that's where it started. That was my first time.
Oh yeah, dude. Who was it? There was a guy I interviewed at the Gundies. He actually was the winner of the get to go out to the Gundies for free. Forge Relations paid for him to get out there, and I think the first gun he shot, full auto, was the MP5. And I was like, dude, you're spoiled, man. Yep. You're spoiled. There's not too many things much more fun or that easy to shoot full auto that exist.
Everything comes full circle too. Like it just makes sense. It's like, wow, this is an unfair advantage. I understand now.
Yeah.
We actually brought one. So we have it here at the show. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Of course we did. That's why we got to be the MP5K. So we brought one.
Yeah, well, just for the sake of, transparency and everything else, we actually haven't shot our video together yet, so maybe we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Yeah. Look at that. So, I know everybody's like, wait, how does this happen? How do you haven't shot your video? It's, you guys, timelines, they get weird, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
it's Inception.
That's exactly it. But yeah, so going back to the National Firearms Act, it's absolute bullshit. There's absolutely no reason for it today. The reason something like that happened was simply because there were guys like John Dillinger. That was
the mob.
Yeah, the mob.
Yes.
The mob was out there. The public enemies. They were out there cutting down barrels, hiding stuff under trench coats, things like that, robbing banks.
It's crazy that the price has not changed. It was $200 back then.
To try to make it unaffordable.
Yeah.
Yep.
To try to make it completely unattainable. And so they're like, okay, well, it hasn't changed. So $200 now, look, it's not exactly cheap by any means, but at the same time, it's kind of like an annoyance, right? Because it's woe is me, right? Because I've got companies like, hey, dude, we want you to try out the silencer. Feel free to keep it. I'm like, shit, dude, that's another $200.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I also work for an SOT, and I'm like, you guys hang on to it until I want to actually, take it home or something. Well, I mean, I could take it home, but whatever, keep it on my gun all the time or something. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But like I said, woe is me. I know, I get it. I get to try out a lot of cool shit, and I think I'm going to add JK to that list.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Because so we're known also for a lot what we do at cfcontests.com. We won't say exactly what happens over there because YouTube's a little funny. But I can see us partnering in the future because, like I said, I've shot y'all's products. I'm a fan, right? And like I said, with the research I've been doing, and I already know, like I said, where your roots lie and everything else like that. And we've been hanging out for the past couple of days.
Yes.
Yeah, dinner last night was great. We went to St. Elmo's Steakhouse, by the way, and they have that horseradish shrimp cocktail.
Oh, my gosh.
That was like getting punched.
Yeah.
Right here, but it was so good. The horseradish guys just cleared you right out. It was great.
It was worse than wasabi. I was crying and I had snot coming out. I was like, this is great.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. Everyone's in tuxedos serving us food. Just like crying. Yeah.
One of the best fillets I ever had. That was
It was
really
very good.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So I'm
Well,
glad
yours
you guys
is moving though.
Oh yeah, I like mine pretty rare.
Yeah, it was really rare.
It was like when it said like a cool red middle, like that's what you typically see for like red. I was like, no, that bitch is cold. I was like, oh yeah, it was definitely still pulsing, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's how I like my steak, you know. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with you guys. Looking forward to recording our video tomorrow and all. And but I mean, you guys, again, you've got a whole career just kind of like aligned in all of this and everything. And so, what's the future for JK? What else you guys got going on? What is there anything that you want to lead on?
Well, didn't I film you shooting the full auto 12 gauge?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and that was epic.
That was awesome, dude. I mean, so first of all, because it was funny, because I do go by Magged Up Morgan on Instagram, and you know, I really live up to that name. If somebody puts a 50 cal in my hand, they're like, okay, you're gonna mag dump this. I'm like, absolutely, and I'm not gonna get down on the prone. I'm gonna offhand this bitch, right? And I'm gonna absolutely run it. In fact, I've actually run drills with it while moving and stuff like that, just to prove that hey, it's a big gun, it's a heavy gun. You can do it. It's a baby.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you could one arm that thing.
Yeah, probably.
You
No, you definitely could. I've done it. You know, underneath, I could get about 2 or 3 shots off, and then my little bitch self is like, okay, I need somebody to support the muzzle. But hey, all I'm saying is that was with the Genesis, right? Or
Genesis
the
12.
Gen 12. Yeah,
Absolutely.
John Wick's gun.
Yes, and we spoke with Cody, right?
Cody's awesome.
The Wookiee.
Yes, the Wookiee. All right. so you know, we couldn't get him on the podcast today, but I have a feeling we're gonna have you guys out, and all of us are gonna have a good time together.
Yes, we are.
And Cody's been in a couple of other. I think he was on Grantham's channel, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yes, he was.
recently.
Yeah, and so talking
for what was it, Grand Wick?
Yeah,
Grand Wick.
Right. That Grand Wick. Yeah. That was
we
it.
were there. Yeah.
Yeah. Grand Wick, John Thumb. I don't know which one ever sounds better.
John Thumb. That's good.
But yeah, dude. So I mean, talking with all you guys last night was just so much fun. And then and he was actually involved. From learning from him, he was a Marine, and he was there for 2004 Fallujah and stuff like that, right? So
Yes, he was.
yeah, he would be an interesting guy to talk to. Also,
You think Rich is big? The Wookiee's what, 6'8"? He's taller than you.
Yeah, he is. No, he's 6'6".
6'6".
Yeah,
What,
we're about the same weight.
275.
So he's a little leaner. I'm a little thicker.
dude, I swear, dude, if Adam or Nola were to come into this room too, he's over at Canic there, tall guy over there too. He's 6'8".
Oh, Adam's massive.
Yeah, dude. I feel like whenever I at this point, I'm just used to being the midget. You know what I mean? And I'm not that short guy. I'm 5'9". All right, give me a break. All right, it's not like I'm 5'4", 5'6" or anything. You know, I mean, whatever. And to our short kings out there, hey, we got love for you too. You know,
Short kings.
but yeah, I mean, you guys are big dudes, you know. And but anyway, I don't know how we got that far off, but no, man. I mean, it was really cool hanging out with you guys, and again, I'm looking forward. So yeah, so going back to it, so the Genesis 12 was that's what we're saying. He was a big dude and running that full auto shotgun, dude. And it was funny when I picked it up and they're like, I think he was looking like, so you're just gonna do you just want to shoot around? And I was like, nah, dude, I'm just gonna send it. And so I could already feel him like starting to brace me, and I was like, dude, I got this. And dude, I just leaned into it, and we got it on slow motion, I think, on my camera somewhere, and dude, that muzzle just.
It's incredible.
And then the crazy part, I mean, I think it was like 6-7 rounds gone, and like pop, done. And it was just flat shooting too. I was like, dude, this is freaking cool.
There's a lot of hate that comes out of that.
Oh,
there's a great scene in John Wick 4 with that. With
the Dragon's Breath.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh,
sorry. No, it's
the
totally
best scene
cool.
in the movie.
I've actually seen. I think they even show that part in the trailer, right? And so so the Gen 12, the Genesis, and then we shot a semi-auto one not too long ago too. I think actually was shooting a guard dog body armor helmet with it, just to make sure that the helmet could take the abuse. It did, and. But anyway, so I was already a fan and already knew of the shotgun, and so you guys got your suppressor on that gun.
Yep. Yes, we do.
The SGX 12G.
Yeah. And dude, that's cool. That's really cool.
And it's affordable.
Yeah. So with that, because I know I get this question a lot, and I actually, I just haven't thought about it, right? Whenever you think about running a shotgun suppressor, a lot of people are like, well, how does that work with like a spread, right? Aren't you worried about like getting baffle strikes, stuff like that, things like that with the spread of like shot and all that? So what do you recommend? How do you defeat that?
Well, Jake did a great job. We have a what do you call it? The tube.
It's a trumpet baffle.
Trumpet baffle.
Okay. It's like basically a reverse baffle. So it looks like the end of a trumpet.
Yep.
And what it does is it forces the wad through it.
Yep.
And it doesn't allow any plastic to come back, which is also really important.
Yes, that's
yes,
another thing
is.
I didn't even take into consideration.
No plastic to the trigger.
Yeah.
And it keeps the wad, and then it comes out. And the spread rate, to your point, we have some charts we'll show you. But unsuppressed, you go shoulder to shoulder. And then suppressed, it's in a good spot.
It's off paper.
I mean, it's
unsuppressed, right?
Yeah.
And then with it, I mean, at the end cap is where we put our chokes. So full, medium, or skeet.
Yeah.
And at the end, that's where the spread is mitigated. So
so it comes up, then it goes out.
So the way Cody was explaining it to me also was like he was shooting that Genesis, and he was saying he was. Crap. I can't remember the distance. We'll record with him tomorrow, and that'll be on the NRA coverage, NRA annual meet coverage. But he was explaining it to me today. He was like, dude, I was really impressed because I thought I did something wrong. He was like, but yeah, he had like freaking, I can't remember, double out buck, something like that. And he said that the group was like on a quarter, and he was like at 10 yards or something. He was like, that doesn't seem right. Did it again. He had another one. He's like, holy shit. He's like, this is pretty sweet, right? It's like it looked like a slug going through, instead of shot, right? Which is just pretty impressive stuff. So you guys got that science down. You got that technology down, right? And so again, and if we can show up the image too, or if I can find the photo of my Gym Tech that has the monocore and on my FNX 45 without the sleeve on it. Again, just really cool technology there. Do you still incorporate that same type of technology with the JK suppressors, or you go somewhere a little bit different with that?
We're going newer technology, modern technology. I guess the only way I can explain that, it's the next evolution.
Yeah.
Again, mission configurable, by the inch or half inch. Nobody does that.
Well, you think of it this way.
Tone technology, nobody does it.
You can modify your host weapon 1,000 different ways.
Yes.
Right. And there needs to be that with, fixed length is I'm not poo-pooing it, right? I love suppressors. But it is kind of like a way of the past. At least that's the way we're looking at it.
Yeah.
You should be able to have that capability, baffle by baffle, depending on your host weapon.
Look at your stock.
Weapon. Yeah, that's where the mission configurable comes from. So like, hey, you've got a short barrel system. You may want to shorten your can, but you don't want to be limited based off of the specific fixed length that you have. So that's one way we're looking at it. You can modify it based off of what your mission is.
Right.
So
that's
look
so
at stocks.
cool.
Look at stocks. Are they all one spot? No, you can move it.
You can move it. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So all right. So I got to ask though, why don't you want to use the term modular?
Because a lot of our guys are special forces.
Yeah.
And they said we go by the mission. Mission configurable.
Okay.
If we want less weight, we don't want to pack all this weight. We want as light as possible, as small as possible.
Yeah.
Or, hey, maybe we're going to go out sniping. We're just going up the ridge. That's it. Full suppression. No flash. Sound in regards, low as possible.
Yeah.
So it depends on your mission. That's
why
we went to mission configurable, because people say, oh, this is modular. I'm like, nope. Mission configurable. There's nothing out there that can go 1 inch at a time or a half inch at a time, all the way down to the baffle.
It's also a cool marketing buzzword. So
that's cool. Yeah. Oh, the marketing director.
Yeah, there he is. Rich, I think he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Dude, that's so cool, man. Again, I'm really excited to run these products and get them on the channel too, and show off to everybody. And again, and maybe host one on cfcontest.com at some point.
Oh, yes.
So, again, all this cool stuff, all these different collaborations, and this is something I really love about the shows, right? Because, we were just meeting at SHOT Show earlier this year. Now here we are hanging out. We went out to dinner. We've been hanging out all weekend pretty much, and then you guys introduced me to Cody, and then, right across, and then if you guys didn't see our Terran Tactical interview, that was so much fun, because Terran, I just happened to be at the Save Your Equipment booth, and Terran was doing a meet and greet there. And so I just go up to Terran, I'm like, hey man, and I've interviewed him before, he's an awesome dude. And he's just, he's entertaining. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so if you've ever had a conversation with Terry, oh man, this is a fun ride, right? And so I just walk up to him and I'm like, hey man, you want to do an interview? He's like, yeah, let's go, right? Yeah, he sees the camera. He's like, absolutely, let's do it, right? He's like, we're doing this, man. And he gets so into it. He gets so into his. You can tell how passionate he is about his shit. Yes. And dude, and here's the cool thing. I mean, this stuff works. You know, I mean, there's a reason why why he is where he is and that type of stuff. You know, and so you put the product in it, and it's awesome. And he sees Cody over there with the Genesis, and I'm in the middle of the interview. I'm holding the mic, and he starts talking about the shotgun that John Wick uses, right? And he literally takes the mic out of my hand. He goes, "Don't interview me about this. Here, I'm going to interview Cody about it." I'm like, "I'll just leave."
Yes, that's great.
You know, and then he does his Arnold Schwarzenegger impression when somebody's talking loud behind him, and he's like, "Get out, you're ruining my video." You know, and I'm like, dude, it was so, I was like, what is happening? But man, it's also the type of stuff that people are going to be in the comment section like, that was a wild interview, but I learned so much and I was entertained, and I didn't get distracted once by something else happening. They kept the attention, you know.
It's good.
Yeah, so it's cool stuff, man. But it's really neat too to see y'all's product there. I mean, for John Wick, I mean, you know, I mean, what is that something that's I mean,
well, they wanted the guns loud.
Yeah.
So that didn't help us, but our muzzle device.
Oh, of course, yeah, that was on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I thought I figured as much that there was a product of y'all's on there. So you guys, I mean, so you're, you know, we didn't really talk about that really either, because your muzzle devices, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so what are y'all's? Tell me a little bit about them, right? I mean, obviously we'll cover quite a bit about this in the product video tomorrow and all, but the silencers that you make, they're QD or they're direct thread. How do you like to have them attached?
Go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
you want me to take it? Okay. Yeah. So we've got our War Eagle, our War Eagle and our Bald Eagle. Yeah. There's a few things that are great about them, at least from the consumer side. You don't need any special tools. You just use a wrench, right?
Oh, cool.
So there's that. You don't need to time them either, which is also a failure point, right?
Yeah.
You don't need
that's always nice.
Don't need to worry about that. So that's also key. Like our War Eagle, it's a combo. You got the flash hider element to it as well as the brake. It's cool. The comp, yeah. So there's that. It's kind of like the Rolls Royce, I would say, of muzzle brakes or flash hiders.
Yeah, the War Eagle is, absolutely. Eagle, and the Bald Eagle's good too. The only difference is it doesn't have the flash hider.
Yeah, got it.
Mm-hmm. So if you have bolt gun, we would recommend the Bald Eagle. If you have a AR, definitely the War Eagle.
Got it. Okay, well that makes sense. And for your silencers too, do you have QD attachments for those also, or are you more of direct thread?
Direct thread.
It's direct thread.
Yeah. Is that something that you prefer? Because don't get me wrong, QD I think is cool and all that type of stuff, you know. But at the same time, I feel like if you're gonna have a gun that's suppressed, I feel like direct thread would be the preferred way to go. But do you guys want to hop into that real quick?
Well, it has a taper mount.
Oh,
so it's a taper mount. Yeah. So really, it's not. Nobody's quick detach. I mean, people are quick. No, you're not gonna. Things hot.
Yeah.
You want to get it on.
Like how often is that actually happening?
It's not.
Yeah, once you start shooting, shooting suppressed, you don't stop.
And I gotta watch what I say because we are coming out with something very soon. Yeah. That's why I'm looking at you going.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
And don't forget the 3-prong, you know, the quick attach Gemtech designed 20 years ago. Yeah, so
it's all hub standard.
If that gives you any idea,
got it. Cool.
In the works.
It's all hub standard, reverse compatible, and cross compatible with ASR mounts, which is the most common.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's super
cool.
So
we put our product almost in anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And also, you know, a lot of people don't know this too, but QD can really screw your stuff up if you don't install it correctly.
That is true.
Don't use a crush washer to install your QD muzzle device.
No.
Yeah, and guys, why don't you want to do that? Why don't you want to do that? Yeah.
Baffle strike?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing for those of you guys who don't know. If you utilize a crush washer for your muzzle device, there is the potential that you won't have absolute concentric alignment with the barrel. In other words, your muzzle device could actually slightly be off just a tad bit in any direction. You're thinking it's a circle, right?
Right.
And the crush washer might not crush equally at one point. Yep. Now all of a sudden you extend the muzzle, right, or you extend the barrel of the gun essentially by adding a muzzle device such as a silencer, and now all of a sudden that bullet is now exiting the barrel, traveling down the silencer, which is a little bit longer, and now it's actually going to be leaving. Well, put it this way, the silencer's not on completely straight, and now all of a sudden you have the potential of the bullet just to travel right through the silencer and hit a baffle.
Yep.
Instead of traveling right through cleanly with an exit without, you know. leaving an extra hole in your can.
Yeah.
So make
and
sure
they're finicky, and over time,
Yeah.
you're going to need to play with that and make sure it's concentric. So,
Yeah.
So that's another ease of mind. You don't have to worry about that with ours.
No.
Yeah, because direct thread. Hey, it's easy, simple, right? And you can trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's pros and cons to each, whatever. If you don't want to, if you want to take the can off, quickly for storage or whatever else, yeah, QD's a good way to go, of course. But also, if you're gonna have a dedicated suppressed gun, I mean, it doesn't take that much longer just to screw on a can and make sure it's nice and tight, So, but anyway, I know you guys have a reservation to get to, so I don't want to hold you up from that. But I one thing that I do in every podcast is I ask everybody pretty much the same question at the end, and I let everybody know too, like, hey, these guys might see your questions, comments, something like that, or that you might leave on the comment section down below. Feel free to ask. And one thing I can do too is always invite you guys back, and we might do a part 2 of the Ask Them Anything about their suppressors, about their lives. Whether or not they answer is up to them. But at the end of it all, I asked you what guns you like and what calibers you like to suppress the most and all that stuff. How about favorite rifle, favorite pistol ever? If you can only choose one or the other, what would it be?
I know what I'm going to say. I know what you're going to say. No, I'm going to beat you to the MP5K. I enjoy that. I mean, that I really do. Glocks are reliable.
Glocks are reliable. Okay. Yeah.
My son, he's the Navy jet fighter pilot. Got him a Glock 45.
Oh, nice.
It's a great gun.
Dude, that's probably.
I mean, really, it's just reliable, and it's great value. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I grew up not with a lot of money.
Yeah.
I look for a great value, and it really is a great value.
Oh yeah.
This is why Ron and I are homies. I'm a Glock 17.
There you go.
Tried and true. That's what I learned on. I'm very good at it. I still appendix carry it. So
I was gonna say a Glock 17 for you is like a Glock 19 for me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Like I can still carry one pretty comfortably as long as, and I've said this in plenty of videos too, as long as you got a decent quality and good holster setup, you can pretty much still carry everything.
And I will say I have a Zev.
Oh yeah. Z9?
Z9C.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is basically the Glock 45.
Yeah, right.
Rifle, I'm gonna go with a Grand. I'm old school.
There we go, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guys right across the street, but right next to you, the booth over there, the Appleseed Project. Have you guys seen that?
No.
What they do? It looks like they do some pretty cool stuff. I think I might actually just go over there and talk to them because it looks like they're just trying to get people educated, a little bit of history, stuff like that, teach them proper shooting stance and all that type of stuff. And it looks like they try to get all ages involved and all demographics. Cool thing. But anyway, there's a woman walking around with an M1 Grand over there, and I see the clip in her hand because it's a legitimate clip. And
thank you for adding that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, if I don't hear this fucking ping at least once, because everybody loves to hear it, ding, and I'm like, I got to hear it at least once, and I haven't heard it all weekend, so I'm like, I'm going to go over there and just take that M1, pop the clip in there, ting, hand it back, and just walk away.
I have a cool story as to the reason why mine is so my wife, her grandfather was a brigadier general.
Oh, wow.
And they actually made a movie about him. He was, have you ever seen the movie The Devil's Brigade?
Oh, I haven't.
Sounds familiar.
I haven't. I know of the movie. Seen the poster. I have not seen
First Special Forces Group, they led an invasion in Italy against the Nazis.
Oh.
And that was Emil Eschenberg.
Oh, wow.
Is his name. And we had a Grand that we would take out once a year, Thanksgiving. And we'd all get to unload a clip.
Yeah.
And that was some fond memories with that. So,
dude,
fell in love with it.
That's cool.
There. Yeah.
That's awesome. And did you say that M1 was at his?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, that is super neat.
Yeah. And he's got some memorabilia that he took home from that invasion. They called him the Black Devils.
Yeah.
So, and there's books written on it. You can look him up. Emil Eschenberg. He was highly decorated. I totally nerd out way more than she does.
Yeah.
About him. He fought in the Korean War, Vietnam. He was right there with his men. He's an awesome dude. Hard guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool, man. Now I'm not going to have you answer on air or whatever, but we'll talk about what that memorabilia is.
Yes, there's a reason I didn't say it. Yeah, I'll tell you. I got pictures too. It's cool.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah. We'll do that, man. But hey, I'm gonna let you guys run though. I don't want you to be late or anything like that. But this has been a lot of fun. I feel like we could keep talking quite a bit. I feel like we just only hit the tip of the iceberg here. Not to trigger anybody like from Titanic or something. But at the end of it all, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. We're gonna talk a little bit more tomorrow on video and actually see the product and maybe on a couple of cool guns and see, of course, you guys different silencers and the configurations too, because I want to see that mission configurable one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, they all are.
Yeah. Oh,
the entire line.
Well, you didn't see you were wearing your mask. I made you take that off. Yeah. But I'm an anti-masker, so don't give me a bad time. We'll show you tomorrow.
Look at him. He's like, what? I did not have a mask on. I did not wear a mask. Screw that.
I'm just kidding. I take pictures of people at the airport. He knows.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny actually.
Yeah. I wear my Lions Not Sheep shirt. I take.
There you go. Yeah.
Beta male.
Okay, so hold on. That's I didn't know that. So your entire suppressor line are configurable like that?
Yeah. Mission configurable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna correct you.
Yeah, every time. Configurable. I know. I'm just shortening it a little bit.
So we've got 3 families, just real quick, because I know you're trying to wrap it up.
No. It's hey, if you guys are comfortable, keep talking.
We can go a little over for the fans.
All right, for the fans,
for the rich fans.
The 105 series, which is the nomenclature, it starts out. It's a diameter reading. So those are our small cans.
Yeah.
The CCX, our 22 cans, 1.05 inches in diameter. That's our 105 family. The 155 is 1.55 inches in diameter. That's the 155 family.
I honestly was just thinking that maybe you had like some history in artillery because I'm like 105 rounds, 155 rounds. Like that's what I was thinking.
That's clever. Okay. That would be clever. Yeah. And then the 195, which is our shotgun family, which just started. So we've got the Versa X, 195, and then the SGX 195. And each one of those families are all mission configurable. Baffle by baffle, you have
tone technology too.
Yeah, you can tone technology. You can choose the length based off of the host weapon, based off of the caliber, whatever it is that you're doing. So,
dang, that's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so for your entire lineup to be like that's neat.
Yeah,
mission configurable.
Yes.
Thank you. Tone technology.
Yeah, dude, that is so cool, man. All right, well, I'm excited to see this stuff tomorrow, guys. Don't forget, hey, JK Armament. Are you guys on social media?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So where can
we're exploding on social media? Actually,
hell yeah.
Instagram, JK Armament.
Yeah.
JK Armament Suppressors on YouTube. We've been banned twice now on TikTok, but we did do it.
You're on TikTok?
Oh yeah. And then obviously Facebook.
Yeah.
And Twitter. Twitter is actually exploding ever since Elon Musk took over. It's been growing quickly.
Right.
So
that's freaking good. All right, you got a new follower. I didn't know. My bad.
It's okay. You're good.
But yeah, so all right. Well, that's freaking cool, man. So I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow. Ron, Rich, absolute pleasure as always, guys. And hey, I hope to see you guys at our house, not in our hotel room, next time at the warehouse, and we'll give you guys a tour and all that stuff. And I think it'll be really cool to actually guys have you out at the warehouse. We'll do a good range day together. The whole lineup.
Love to do it.
Yeah, the whole lineup, and we'll bring some fun toys to play with, and we'll talk about something that might appear on cfcontest.com or something like that. So,
absolutely.
All right, cool. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it, guys. God bless, and we'll see you next time at the CF Podcast.